Well, I'm joined by the man of the moment, Umar Abdullah, who has won this election, not just his party, but he's winning from two seats, Ganderbal and Badgam. It's a double victory for Umar Abdullah after recent defeat in the parliament. You are smiling?
I think there is ample reason to smile. We've done well, better than we had expected. And as you said, I managed to retain both my seats by a good margin. So contrary to some of the doubters who were saying that this was a sign of weakness, I said right in the beginning, it's a sign of strength. I want to show that Baramulla was an aberration, and it has been proven so.
So when you actually decided to contest election, I spoke to you that time. And you said the first transaction of business of this government would be in the assembly to pass a resolution, show the rejection of people to what Centre has done on August 5, 2019.
I believe this mandate is a rejection of that. The fact that by an overwhelming margin, the BJP has been kept out of office. The BJP has won seats, but they are very far from the halfway mark. That in itself tells you that the majority of the people of Jammu and Kashmir do not agree with the politics of the BJP, and it is in the way they have voted.
Your manifesto has made several promises, including restoration of statehood, fighting for the 370, giving so many things to the people. Is it, aren't you now under the burden of expectations?
Well, certainly. The burden of expectations is something that we have sort of come to realize over the course of today. It's not just our manifesto. It's the way in which people have resoundingly come out and voted for the National Conference. Considering that we didn't fight all 90 seats, we fought far less than 90.
Exactly.
Therefore, the win ratio for the National Conference.
And I may add, your strike rate is 75%.
Well, there you go. I wasn't aware of that, but it's a statistic that I'll definitely be happy with. No, but coming back to your original point, yes, I think people have a right to expect things from us, and it is our responsibility to deliver on their expectations. Obviously, some of the things that we have promised, we will start immediately. Some of the things that we have promised will require us to work with New Delhi to get our statehood back. But I believe, as I said earlier, that the Prime Minister is an honourable man. We don't say Honourable Prime Minister for nothing. I believe the Prime Minister is an honourable man. He has promised the people of Jammu and Kashmir statehood, and I hope that he will live up to that promise.
And BJP has been saying time and again, first delimitation, after the reorganization, they say first delimitation, then election, then restoration of statehood. How soon you are expecting that to happen?
They said as much even in the Supreme Court. Therefore, I would like to believe, look, nowhere has the BJP ever said that first BJP government, then statehood. Mm-hmm. Even in the speeches of the Prime Minister, nowhere did he say that only a BJP government will get statehood. He said Jammu and Kashmir will get statehood. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have spoken. And I hope that the Honourable Prime Minister will be magnanimous in restoring statehood to Jammu and Kashmir at the very earliest.
So when we see the results, as I said, your strike rate is 75%, but the Congress performance has been much less than what many had expected, even Congress had expected. I mean, you may have also expected them to do. It is actually there was which now clear is that there was a pro-NC wave, and they were riding on that NC wave in the valley, and they have miserably failed in Jammu.
Look, I think there will be time to analyze the performance of the alliance as a whole. Obviously, I think the Congress has a number of reasons to do some soul searching, not the least of which is Haryana, because once again, exit polls were proven to be completely wrong. They were wrong in Jammu and Kashmir, where they had said there will be a hung assembly. There is no hung assembly. They are wrong in Haryana, where they had said BJP would lose. It didn't lose. That said, I am grateful for every seat that we have. I am extremely grateful that we have got the number of seats that we had. Could we have done with more? Of course. We could have been greedy and said, yes, we wanted 10 more, 15 more. नहीं मिले. लेकिन जितने मिले मैं उनका शुक्रगुजार हूँ.
Okay. When you were campaigning, you had two types of challenge. One, you were fighting the BJP. And second was on the other side was also Jamaat Islami, same party and the other group who were actually fighting for the Azadi and boycotting elections. So how challenging this, fight was, election was, when on one side you were saying you were fighting BJP, but on the other side there was a Jamaat Islami, there were other groups who were saying, look, we have to dislodge NC.
It wasn't an easy campaign. It wasn't an easy fight. It was personally a difficult election for me because, as you pointed out, it came on the back of what was a difficult defeat to take. Losing in Baramulla was not easy for me to come to terms with. But whatever happens, happens for the best. And a very wise person some time ago told me that the MP in Baramulla, Rashid, he has mistaken sympathy for popularity. What he got in Baramulla was sympathy. What he thought he had was popularity. He thought that his numbers would reflect in the assembly. They didn't. And the same is true for a whole lot of other individuals who the BJP propped up. Not for nothing, these people were called the B team, C team, D team of the BJP because they were put here to divide votes. And I must say, hats off to the voters of Kashmir. They overwhelmingly and resoundingly defeated this conspiracy of the BJP to divide votes in the valley. None of these forces that were propped up to fight elections were able to deliver anything.
Okay, 44% of candidates were independents and almost all of them have lost. Were you expecting that?
Again, it is a testament to the wisdom of the voters that they saw through this conspiracy. That 44% of the candidates being independents, almost all of them must have lost their deposits.
Okay.
Now that tells you that in this election, perhaps as opposed to maybe most elections in the past after 96, voters, particularly in Kashmir and in the mountains of Jammu, said that we are not going to let our voice be divided. We are not going to let our votes be divided. I am sure that there have been voters who have voted for the National Conference for the first time in their lives.
Okay.
They probably would never have imagined themselves as National Conference voters. But they came out and voted for National Conference this time because they wanted to ensure that this vote division conspiracy would fail. And now it is our responsibility to live up to their expectations.
Okay, but you have swept, completely sweep in the valley, complete. And then we see in Muslim majority areas of Jammu like Poonch and Rajouri, where by the way you have defeated also BJP President Ravinder Raina, also your candidate Surendra Chaudhary. But if we see mainland Jammu, Tawi, Udhampur, which are actually Hindu majority areas, Congress has not been able to win a single seat. Their single Hindu candidate has not won. So how we are going to strike a balance when it comes, people have sense of belonging in Jammu with this government?
That is obviously going to be a major challenge for the incoming government. Whoever heads the government, whoever makes up the government, whichever ministers you have, a crucial part of their responsibility is going to have to be to give a sense of ownership to the regions of Jammu that didn't vote in favor of the alliance. Just because a large number of seats in Jammu went to the BJP is no reason why that region should feel ignored.
So you would give representation to them?
I believe that when statehood is restored to Jammu and Kashmir, the government must move to bring back the Legislative Council and then give all those communities a voice that have not got a voice. One, the alliance will have to find members from Jammu so they can get a voice in the government. There are no Sikh MLAs. There are no Kashmiri Pandit MLAs. I believe there are sections of Jammu and Kashmir that are today unrepresented, and their representation will only come through the Legislative Council. And I believe the Legislative Council must be restored to Jammu and Kashmir so that these voices get heard.
So you said we have to see who will head the government. Isn't that clear? You are heading the government.
No, absolutely not.
Why you have 1-2 seats?
I have won 2 seats, but I'm an MLA of the National Conference, as are 40 plus MLAs. It is for the Legislative Party of the National Conference. No, don't make those faces. The Legislative Party of
But
the
Dr.
National
Saab had
Conference.
declared.
Dr. Saab, it's very kind of him to do so, but that's not how we do things.
Okay.
The Legislative Party of the National Conference will elect its leader, then the alliance will elect the leader of the alliance.
Okay.
And that person will go to Raj Bhavan and stake claim.
So when you are expecting that happen?
Whenever we have, I would expect that tomorrow we will have some time to celebrate. Day after, I think we should call our legislative party, have the legislative party meeting, then sit down with the allies, and hopefully in the next 2-3 days.
Okay, you are asking me. Ankit wants to ask some question. Okay. Okay. Ankit is asking, have you decided which seat you want to retain and where you want to give up?
I've only just got my certificates.
Okay.
It's something that obviously I need to think about very carefully. But when I decide, I'll let you know.
Okay, you let us know. And, now you have to deal with the central government. Huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, before I ask you a question about your relationship with the central government, which you have to maintain, Ankit is asking, what is your message for the Congress? Because in the wake of upcoming elections in the Maharashtra and Jharkhand, given their performance in Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir.
It's not for me to advise the Congress. It is for the Congress themselves to take stock of what happened. I'm sure they have people far cleverer than me who will be able to analyze what happened in Haryana and also parts of Jammu and Kashmir and put into place corrective measures. I would definitely not be comfortable giving Congress advice, and particularly through a television channel.
Okay. So my last question will be, Jammu and Kashmir is facing a complex situation.
Let me answer your question before you even ask it. Jammu and Kashmir will not benefit from an antagonistic relationship between the state government and the union government. Okay. Jammu and Kashmir has far too many problems for us to play politics over the next 5 years, bashing each other.
Okay.
There will be time enough for that when we have future elections. Okay. I believe that the incoming government must have a healthy working relationship with the union government, and I hope the union government has the same sentiment. I hope the union government recognizes that Jammu and Kashmir is at a very crucial stage. We definitely, as far as the National Conference is concerned, we will not be playing politics with this sort of relationship. I hope the union government also doesn't play politics. I would advise whoever goes to Raj Bhavan to stake claim as Chief Minister, make sure that we have a good, healthy, working understanding with the Government of India.
And when the security and all these things are key issues, LG has the sweeping powers. In this case, will it not create a friction like you have a problem in Delhi?
That is, again, something for the Lieutenant Governor and the incoming Chief Minister to work out. I think there is a need for some relationship building there, because there is almost no relationship between the National Conference and the current incumbent in the Raj Bhavan. We virtually don't know each other. And I believe that some amount of repair work will have to be done, because Jammu and Kashmir will not benefit if the Lieutenant Governor decides to be antagonistic towards the incoming government. We will not look for that sort of antagonism, and I hope Raj Bhavan doesn't look for it either.
Have you got any message or call from the Prime Minister? Because he normally calls everybody when
I haven't been able to check my phone, but I hope I haven't missed his call.
Okay. So wish you luck, Mr. Umar Abdullah.
Thank you.
Congratulations for this victory, which nobody was actually expecting that they will win so